Hey everyone, happy Sunday. Well, I'm not going to do a cooking video tonight. However, it's 23rd December, Sunday night, and tomorrow I'm going to cook some Cornish hen. I'm going to grill it on my grilling pan, as you can see. And but for that, what I want to do is remember I told you all that if you want to cook meat and if you want to grill it with marination and all that, it's better to marinate it overnight. So I have some amazing no antibiotic organic Cornish hen. I split it into two halves. As you can see, I did some piercing as well in the meat part, or the not on the bone part, but the muscle part of the chicken, just so the marination gets in. So I'm going to marinate this Cornish hen overnight for tomorrow, because I think my sister she's inviting some people, so I'm going to cook this in my grilling pan. But without any further ado, so for marination, I have this Tupperware. So I'm going to just have my chicken in here, both halves, as you can see. And then into this, I'm going to add the the ingredients that I like to add for marination. I'm going to leave it in the fridge for overnight. Not in the freezer, remember, in the fridge. Okay, so the first thing is I have 4 or 5 garlic cloves chopped, as you can see. So this goes in here, as you can see. So garlic goes in here. And then the next thing obviously is let's see, the next thing is I have some whole cumin. Cumin gives it a little nice aroma to it, so a little bit of cumin. As you can see, that's good enough. Now, since I'm on a no salt, no sodium diet, so I can't use a lot of salt, but I'm going to use a little bit of like sea salt as I have. Just bear with me. Just a little bit, not too much. All right, I'm actually feeling better that I'm not eating a lot of salt. All right, so the next thing is turmeric. As you can see, turmeric is good for you, good for your body. So as much as you can, as much as you like, in the quantity. The next thing is coriander. As you can see, dried coriander. So probably like, I don't know, 1/8 of a spoon, as you like. That's good enough. Now the next thing is a little bit of curry, just a little bit of curry powder, not a lot, because I don't want to make this, smell like or taste like curry, but it gives a nice aroma. So that's good enough. And then I have some dry parsley, as you can see. So dry parsley goes in here. As you can see, that's good enough. And then in terms of the spices and all that, the last thing is the, sorry, I dropped the lid. The black pepper. So I'm just going to grind it using the grinder. As you can see, fresh black pepper, as much as you can. And then the second last thing I'm going to add this into this, not this into, right, is some olive oil I have. As you can see, you can use any olive oil, probably 2 or 3 tablespoons. As you can see, that's good enough. And so that's olive oil. And then the last thing is lemon. So I have 3/4 of a lemon in here. So I'm going to basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into two. And then I'm going to use my lemon squeezer, as you can see. Since it's a decent amount of meat, although it's Cornish hen, but still you want to have enough lemon, as you can see. So basically, have your lemon like that into the squeezer, and then just squeeze it like that. As you can see, amazing lemon juice. Squeeze it a little bit more. There you go. And then you want to do the same thing for the other piece of lemon. And so basically the same thing. And there you go, more lemon juice. So the lemon juice gives it a nice acidic taste to it. And basically just using your hands, just mix everything. Just using your hands, as you can see, just coat the marination all over the bird. As you can see, right there, garlic, all the you can put some garlic into the inner part of the bird, just like that, and then basically just mix it for like probably a minute or two. As you can see, mix it, and as you can see, it's gaining a nice color to it. And then just sprinkle a little bit of this, and that's it. So this basically now can go overnight into the fridge, and you can basically grill it tomorrow. All right, so I will see you all tomorrow, which is Christmas Eve. Before Christmas Eve, obviously I'm going to grill this. I'm going to show it to you how to grill it. All right. All right, everyone. So I'm back for the holiday cooking. As you know, I marinated the Cornish hen yesterday, and I kept it overnight in the fridge. As you can see, it looks really good. And I have on the stove, I have our grilling pan, and I coated it with a little bit of olive oil, so it's basically preheated. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the chicken now basically just start grilling. The half chicken on one side and the other half on the other side. As you can see, it's already preheated, so it's already started sizzling. The bird on the other side, and then pour this marinade a little bit on top of the bird. There we go. Looks really good. I'm going to turn the fan on to full speed, just in case if you can't listen to me, because I don't want to have the what do you call, the smoke detector going on top of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in some tomatoes, sliced tomatoes, onions, and green pepper. So I'm just going to throw in there into my grilling pan like that, so you can see. Just to make sure that these are evenly on the grill, so you can see, spread out on the grill. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on this side for 8 to 10 minutes on this side, and and another 8 to 10 minutes on that side. And then what we're going to do is, well, before I say anything, let me just pour this marinade a little bit more on everything. So there we go. So make sure to just let the chicken, you know, get that nice, you know, grilling, you know, the grilling lines at the bottom. So just let it cook for 8 to 10 minutes. In the meanwhile, I have some North Carolina basmati rice, which I'm going to cook in the what do you call, in the microwave. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in a little bit of like those Indian like mixed spices. It's not spicy, but you know, like whole pepper, some bay leaf, and a little bit of cloves and all that, you know. Cloves, is that what you say? Cloves. And then into this I'm going to pour I mean, this rice is about 3/4 of a cup, so I'm going to pour in there about a cup and quarter cup hot water. So basically you just pour this in here a little bit more, and just mix it. Make sure that, you know, the rice doesn't clog or anything like that. Make sure you mix it. And then, as you know, I'm still on the diet, so I can't use a lot of what do you call, the salt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper towel, keep it in the underneath the rice in the microwave, as you can see. And then I'm just going to close the door and then cook this for about 12 minutes. There we go. So at high temperature, about 12 minutes. And in the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have on the side, besides the rice as a side dish, I'm going to have a little bit of asparagus, you know, potatoes, and a little bit of turnip, which I'm going to do later on. But at this point in time, you know, we're going to focus on our chicken. Let's do it, as you can see, about 5 more minutes, and I'm going to flip this. And after that, what we're going to do is that we're going to transfer this chicken into our pot and just let it cook for at least 20 minutes, because, you know, you want to make sure that the chicken is cooked properly. Chicken takes more time to cook than other meats. I don't know about all the other meats, but you get my point, right? So at this point in time, I think you can actually flip the tomatoes and your onions and the peppers. You want to make sure that they're not burnt. You don't want to cook them as long as the chicken. So once they're done in a few minutes, you can just take them out, set them aside for serving later on. As you can see, they already started like kind of like giving this nice you know, grilling you know, aroma and the texture. So in maybe a minute or two, you may want to like set them aside into you know, into a plate. All right, so give me not 4 but 3 more minutes, and I'll get back once our chicken is ready to be flipped. And yeah, so that's it. I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, everyone. So it's time to set aside our tomatoes on the grilling pan, and the pepper and the onions, which we will serve. As you can see, they look nice, smell nice. So just put them aside in a on a plate or in a bowl. As what I'm doing is semi bowl, semi plate, whatever you call it. Everything is semi in this wall, right? Nothing is 100%. Make sure not to touch the chicken because it's getting that nice grilling, nice grilling lines. In few minutes, you're gonna flip the chicken to cook it for another probably 8 to 10 minutes on the grilling pan. As you can see, the tomatoes and the onions and the peppers are looking really good. So you remove all of them, make sure they're not burnt. So there we go. It's almost time to also not set aside, but to flip our chicken. So why don't we do that? Since it's already about 8 to 9 minutes already. So let's just do that. So here we go. Flip this on the side. As you can see, it has that nice color. You don't want to throw anything that's burnt. So there we go. Just lower the flame a little bit so you don't get the alarm. And then, as you can see, our tomatoes, our onions and pepper, they look good. So we're going to cook this chicken for another maybe 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, and then we're going to transfer this into our pot. So I'll be right back with you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we already transferred our chicken, as you can see, into the pot, and I have a little bit of olive oil in there. And since I already sautéed and everything else, so what I'm going to do is that into this I have a mixture of the remaining, marinade from the chicken, and I added this broth, the chicken broth that I got from the chicken broth. As you can see, I added a little bit of chicken broth into this that I had from the grocery store. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this and just let it cook for 15 to 12 minutes. I'm sorry, 15 to 20 minutes, not 12. And basically I'm going to just let it cook so that the chicken is cooked properly. A little bit of garlic from that, so there we go. And then just put the lid on. As you can see, put the lid on, and then just let it cook for 15 minutes so it's cooked properly on a medium heat. And in the meanwhile, for our veggie side dish, I have the pan here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to turn the heat on this one, medium to low heat, and then I'm going to just have a little bit of olive oil, maybe like a spoon, not more than that, because you don't want your all your dishes and everything else to be too much oil, you don't want that. So it's going to be a little more sauteed, more like more with maybe a little bit of chicken broth water, and yeah, so I'm going to have a little bit of olive oil into this. So a little bit of olive oil. Hold on a second. Okay. So just a little bit, maybe like a spoon. There you go, and into this. First, we're gonna throw our turnip and the potatoes in here because they take a little bit more time to cook than the asparagus, and then just mix it, and then just let it cook. Let it saute is that how you say it? For maybe a couple of minutes, and then we can add the asparagus, and I also have a little bit of garlic, as you can see, and then we're going to add just a little bit of salt and fresh pepper, and yeah, so give me 1 more minute, maybe a minute and a half, and I'll be right back. All right, so while all this is happening, as you can see, I added a little bit of chicken broth into the potatoes and the turnips, so they're looking good. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Bear with me 1 second. Just a little bit of salt. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. Okay, so a little bit of salt into this, and then pepper, as you can see. There we go. So fresh pepper, as you can see. I'm going to add a little bit more broth into this. Just to make sure that the veggies are not burnt. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to add a little bit more broth. This is some nice chicken broth, unsalted. Make sure you get the unsalted. And then into this, basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the asparagus and our garlic into this, as you can see. There you go. And then just mix it. It's going to take about, 3 minutes to cook. And there you go. So that's our side dish with the chicken. And in the meanwhile, looks like our rice is done. So let's take a look. As you can see, it looks nice. As you can see, there's nothing you want to do with this, except that what you do want to do is take a piece of paper towel, right? Maybe fold it just like that, and then just cover your rice with the paper towel like this, and then put the lid on top of the Tupperware, and basically this is done. Our rice is done. Leave it like that for a few minutes, and then you can serve this, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, I have for garnishing, I have a little bit of cilantro, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of not sprinkle, but sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice once everything is ready. Our veggies are looking good, so we'll make sure they're not burnt. So mix them, and make sure the heat is low to medium. And now you can turn off the fan actually, or keep it on low. I'm sorry, I apologize it was making a lot of noise. So just keep it at low. And in the meanwhile, let's check up on our chicken to see how it's doing. Chicken is looking good, as you can see. So just let it cook for another 10 minutes and they should be ready, right? So give me maybe a few more minutes, and by that time our veggies should be ready, and we are in business, right? All right, everyone, so looks like the chicken is ready. As you can see, it looks good. So we're gonna basically just serve it. Well, I have to take it to go, so I can't serve it in a plate. So I have this Tupperware which I cleaned, the one that I use for marination, because this is large enough for the chicken and all that. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take rice, right? So our rice, and then rice looks good, as you can see. I removed the paper towel. Looks crispy, not crispy, but it looks nice. So I'm going to take this a chunk and basically just crush the lumps like that. More, obviously. And so this is going to be a few more people, actually. I think it's going to be at least like 8 to 10 people, although many of them are bringing their own dish as well, so everybody's bringing a dish, so that's good enough for rice. So into this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the chicken. Hold on a second, it's a little complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chicken. Hold on, so let me take the pot from here to here to serve the chicken. Okay, here we go. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to basically just take this, as you can see, our chicken, take the tongs and just have the chicken in here, just like this. As you can see, it looks good. And then on top of this, try to pour a little bit of, not try, but pour a little bit of juice that's left over, as you can see, the gravy, whatever you call it, on top of the chicken. As you can see, pour this. One more spoon. Sorry, just bear with me. So that's good enough, as you can see. And then on top of that, our tomatoes, as you can see, onions and the peppers. So just basically evenly just locate them in the bowl or Tupperware, whatever you call it, right? So there we go. And a bit of pepper, obviously. A little bit more tomatoes, and on top of that I'm going to pour a little bit more juice from our pot which we used to cook the chicken. So just bear with me, I had to do this with the phone. In the camera, as you can see, it looks good. So just pour this a little bit on top of everything. As you can see, that's good enough. And then on top of this would go our veggies. As you can see, our veggies, they look good. Although there are veggies in here, but this is going to give the dish a little bit more texture and a different taste, you know, asparagus and the little bit of tomatoes and the turnip. So just a little bit more asparagus, although it's not a lot, but that's good enough. A little bit more potatoes, as you can see. So that's good enough. And then on top of that, just pour a little bit of juice from the veggies on top of the veggies. And so there we go. So that's our dish. And then on top of this, I'm going to garnish this with our cilantro, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice, as you can see here. Cilantro, as you can see, our cilantro. And then on top of this, just you know, a little bit of like orange juice, not a lot, so give it that nice acidic taste on top of everything: chicken, our veggies, tomatoes, rice, and that's it. So basically that's our holiday dish, you know, Cornish hen with the side dish of rice and asparagus and a couple of other veggies. So you can try it at home in your own style and with your own ingredients and spices. But Cornish hen is always very tasty, so so enjoy, and happy cooking. I'll see you all next time. Happy holidays.